Hi, I'm Cole, and I'm recording a video, and you can see me starting by listening to a radio called NPR, which is one of the biggest radio company in the U.S. And in the break time I can study by reviewing that that I learned in the past. you know Reviewing the word, right? I can review the word that I learned in the past. So yeah, let's start studying, shall we? Look to depend on someone to provide a help. I've never used it. What is seer? Seer. I don't know how to pronounce it. It spells S-E-A-R. It means to burn something with a sudden powerful heat. Seer. Seer. I was right. To burn something. So you have to be careful not to burn. Be careful not to sear your skin. Be careful not to sear your skin. Not to sear your skin, or be careful not to sear the skin, because it's easy to get burnt, right? It's easy to get blacked, because it's the skin of bird, and you have to be careful not to sear the skin, right? So you have to make sure every time you turn on the heater, turn on the open or something like that, and not to not turn up the heat too much, right? And radio has just started, so they cannot put up with having to stay at home. That's right. Marvel. Anonymized. I think they're talking about Tokimese. You know they you know they are researching for how people are doing, or what people are doing, something like that. And accelerating. 달아납니다. Why people cannot stand this kind of strict policy or strict order that you have to that people have to follow. Some people 忘れてきてんねんな、put in. It's not, of course. Distance we maintain. Minimizing non-essential travel. There. Now what we have to do is to minimize the conversation with stranger. Except for my family, because we are having the we are hanging out most of the time together, and I don't think that's a problem because I go out and I walk out every day in the morning, and yeah, I don't think it's a problem because every time after I finish working out, I always wash my hands and clean my throat, and I also clean my face because I might get some virus on my face. So saying you have to minimize the conversation. And I'm kind of surprised at myself, being being capable of understanding what they are talking about. Because when I was in Canada, I'm not capable. I am not. Linked to poor diet. It's kind of related to poor diet. When they're talking about diet, which means food that they usually eat, as a meal. I mean, and if it's poor, which means the nutrition is kind of the nutrition of the foods are likely to have like fat or meat, and they don't eat kind of vegetable that they have to have. That's a problem. This is NPR news. What do you mean, man? What? Virtual tour. They make a tour. Oh, you can't believe they actually made a virtual tour. What the fuck? Because they are not allowed to, have a non-essential travel, which is far from where they live. Wow, that's amazing, man. I'm kind of wondering what what it looks like. How can I how can I go on a travel, go on a trip with just with just headphones and some kind of special glasses. I just can't imagine. I've used you know the virtual world. I've experienced virtual world with PlayStation 4 with my with my with my roommates when I was in Canada a month ago or something like that, and more than a month ago actually. But yeah, now it's break time, so let me study by reviewing. Seer, yeah, I've done. Look to means to depend on someone to provide help or advice. I will look to you for support. Well, that's selfish, you know. This example, it says we look to you for support. That means we want you to help our we want you to help us, right? For support. That's crazy, man. Sees and look to he's looking to you know he's looking to you as a girlfriend, or he's looking to you. He's no, your child or your son is looking to you, ma'am, because he has no one to help him. So that you know the only person who can help you, who can help him is you. Something like that. Seize, to take hold of something suddenly and violently. I've learned a squeeze, but it's a quite different meanings. From squeeze, because seize is kind of squeeze is. I mean, they're using their body actually, but in this case, I mean, they're using a word hold, so that I can imagine hand, so that seize. But I don't know where can I use, how can I use that, how I can use that. Please keep seizing that. Suddenly he seized my hand. Okay, he seized my hand. Actually quite tightly. So could you stop seizing that? It's my it's that's mine, right? Could you stop seizing that? That's mine, right? And suddenly, and beneficial. Is it the right pronunciation? Beneficial. That sounds unnatural. The new radio is about to happen, so beneficial.